Hello and welcome back to Microsoft Excel Course Advanced Part 10, where we will talk about password protection for a worksheet. So in this part we will see how we can lock and unlock the cells, how we can protect a worksheet from partial modification or full modification. Then we'll also talk about protecting the workbook structure if we are sharing it with someone and we do not want them to modify the structure of a workbook. That can be done. And plus, if you want to protect your entire workbook, those options are also there, and we will see how we can password protect a workbook. We have an example over here. Say this is the student record where we have n number of data, and I'm maintaining this record for the entire school, and we'll be sharing it with our colleagues, and I don't want them to make any modification to the structure of this worksheet or to the data which is present on this worksheet. I just want them to review it, give their comments, give their feedbacks, and maybe I give them some rights to enter some comments or some suggestions for what should be done if something is wrong, that it should be changed. So I have the full right of giving them certain grants to perform certain actions on this particular worksheet. So that can be done if we protect our worksheet, if we protect the structure of a workbook. Plus, if we want that, if I am passing on some confidential data to somebody, he or she should be able to open that particular workbook using the password which I provide to them. So we'll see how that all those things can be done. So if we are talking about protecting a worksheet, first thing you should know that we can always lock these cells which are in place. Say for example, this admission number, if I click over here, I can always change the admission number. So this cell is not logged now. If we protect our worksheet, only then these cells will be logged. But you should know something, that if we click on the home tab and if we open the format cell dialog box, we have one tab over here known as protection. We have two options over here, logged and hidden. If this is not checked, the logged property is not checked, then even if we protect our worksheet, this cell, the data which is present in this cell, it will not be protected. Anybody can change the content of this particular cell. So before password protecting your worksheet data, you should check that whether this particular cell has been logged or not. By default, this checkbox is always locked. If you open a new workbook and you go to format cell dialog box and check for the protection, this checkbox will be checked for you by default. So this has been locked. Click on OK. Done. Now I want to protect my worksheet, that nobody should change the data which is present on our worksheet. So go to review tab, click on review tab, and under this group protect, you have something known as protect your worksheet. Click on protect worksheet. It will ask you for a password to protect and unprotect the worksheet. First it will ask the password to unprotect the worksheet. Here you can see it will protect the worksheet and the contents of all these cells which are logged, the thing which we just discussed in the format cell dialog box, that it should be, the cells should be logged. And these are all the options which you can, or the permissions or the grants which you can allow the users. I have given only two grants of permission, that they can select the cell, logged cell, and this I can select the unlocked cell. You can give them these permissions to insert a column or a row, to add a comment or delete a column or a row. That can always be done. So let's give a password to our sheet for the purpose of protection, and always keep in mind that these passwords are not recoverable, so you should always remember it, or you can note it down somewhere that this particular file has this password for unprotecting the sheet, and click on OK. It will ask you to reconfirm the password, provide the same password which you have given earlier, and click here. You can also see that these passwords are not recoverable and they are case sensitive. Click on OK. Your sheet has been protected. Now how to find out whether the sheet is being protected or not? Again, in the review tab under protect group, you can see instead of protect worksheet, it is unprotect worksheet. You can always click on unprotect worksheet and give a password and unprotect your worksheet. Say if I want to try and change some data over here, say this particular, so I am trying to delete, so it is telling me that this particular sheet is password protected. You cannot make these kinds of modification to your sheet. Let's click on OK. To unprotect, or you can always go and go to the home tab and open the format cell dialog box, unlock a cell, and then try it out. You will be able to see the changes. To unprotect, again click on the same tab over here, same option, same command over here, and give the password to unprotect the sheet and click on OK. Now your sheet is being unprotected. Next thing which we will talk about is to protect our workbook. Now we are sharing our workbook with somebody and we do not want them to view the hidden worksheets, or add, move, or delete the worksheet, or to rename a worksheet. I just want them to view the data, and for that I want to protect the structure of the worksheet and a workbook, and to prevent them from making any modifications. So click on your workbook, protect workbook option over here. You have two options over here, to protect the structure and to protect the window. So if you are selecting structure and providing a password, it will prevent the users from viewing hidden worksheet, adding, moving, deleting or renaming of a worksheet, and your structure will be protected. If this window option is provided only in certain versions, where if you want to prevent the users from moving, resizing, or closing the workbook window, or hide or unhide the windows, you can select this option if it is available. So password protect, let's give a password over here and click on OK. It will ask you to re-enter the password, plus it is not recoverable, so you should remember this particular password and click on OK. Your workbook is being protected. So if you are sharing this workbook with somebody, you are giving it to somebody, your workbook is being protected. They will not be able to make changes to the structure of your workbook. So that can be done. Then you have one more option. Now your workbook, once we have provided a password, your workbook has been protected. If you see over here, if I try and enter a new sheet, that option is no longer available for me. I cannot add in a new sheet. I cannot rename. If I try and rename a workbook, it is protected and it cannot be changed. You can always click on OK. That is being protected. I cannot rename. If the Windows options were selected, I cannot resize the window. Now apart from protecting your worksheet and the structure of your workbook, you can provide a password to your workbook as well. You can encrypt the workbook with the help of a password. If you want to do that, click on file. You will be taken to the file tab. Over here you have info. Click on info. Here you have the options of protecting a workbook. Now things which we have discussed, they are present here as well. You can select this option where your workbook will always be open in a read-only mode. You can encrypt it with a password. You can protect the workbook structure from here. Same dialog box will open. If you click on this, the same dialog box will open to protect and unprotect. So let's go back to info and click on encrypt with a password. You will be asked to provide a password for your workbook, say I provide a password. These are also case sensitive and plus they are not recoverable. Click on OK. You have to re-enter the password. You'll be asked to re-enter the password. Click on OK. Your file will be protected. Next time if you are opening it, you will be asked to provide a password. Say, let's close this one. Yes, I want to save the changes, and let's open from this another example. Let's open the previous workbook. It is asking, if you look over here, it is asking me to provide a password to open the workbook. You should remember your password, provide a password to your work for the workbook, and click on OK. The workbook which we have protected with the help of a password comes, or it opens for us. So in this session we did talk about the review tab and how we can protect a worksheet, how we can protect a workbook structure and the window. Plus we have seen how we can password protect our workbook using the file tab and the info section. In the next part we will talk about data calculation across a workbook. How we can, if we have data on different workbooks, how we can calculate it across different workbooks. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.